You say somebody should bury his head in shame. A lot of people will argue with you that it's just a reflection of the shameful situation your political party is in. And I'll tell you why. The Muslim tickets.
Hello everyone, good day according to your time. Welcome back to Learning Sticky. Hope you guys are doing well. Please, if you are seeing my channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Yes, with the name, you can find me anywhere, TikTok, Facebook, and on YouTube, guys. So guys, happy Sunday. The Sunday is almost gone, but however, happy new week. And yeah, guys, it's terrifying the way the situation is Nigeria is going, because if Nigeria is a country, Nigeria and a country will be say there will be democracy, but democracy to my own understanding maybe if you feel they ask, like if something will be say you don't like the happen, you go ask them, say, my people, why this thing they happen? As if this not be our own government where they manage us. So we get right as it be say now we now una son they manage. So they tell una they go wrong. But according to the Nigeria democracy, this democracy where they get for Nigeria, they never legalize them. Now I know when something good there, but they never just put her into function. That's what I believe, in my opinion. I'm sorry to say, because for this video where I want to show now, so when I go see and say when they ask this smart question, say why this thing be like this, and you know, like why una they always they compare about una religion, because this is something that has to do with religion. Now the man converse, he can't begin a coaching, he can't talk say, why una go feel like this? Must we be this? And when person will be saying even invite them, because if you don't want to respond to somebody, let's assume somebody called you, okay, for interview, you are not ready to talk to that person. You don't present yourself. You write a letter. You dismiss the meeting. But this man, in carrying body come to come to the let us know, say they are proud governments. Yeah, sure. They come the let us know now then. Nothing will be said they don't feel do, because you don't feel ask the questions. They are both questions. So for that simple reason, I want to give una this video more for understand the kind of people will be say we get for Nigeria. And this is not just the only person, not the only one be person will be say get this character will be say I don't know where they for in return. Character where they pick from the abandoned part so far. And if una feel they collect our money, because let's be honest here, all the money we so now they collect, una feel they collect and nobody they ask una question, then una need to apply small wisdom, say one day waiting goes around, it go turn around, because nothing be forever. If una look wetin they happen for Iran, una look wetin they happen for China, una go know say something they move, because the people they don't tired of, it's like the same Nigeria problem. For decades, for years, our grandfathers, they have not done anything so far to help us. I will tell you this today. Nobody will tell you this. So, since our grandfather has not done anything to help us, even our father, they didn't do anything. They just worsened the case. Now, they can't do pass. When the children come, they struggle for everything. They struggle for their survival. They struggle for their upkeep. So can I go on, like, naming the things that you need as a human, as a young man to take care of yourself? Then the problem of the country becomes less important to them. They neglect it without not knowing that we are neglecting their future and that of their born children. So let's leave that. But now, some places in the world, they can no longer accept what has been going on, what their grandfather have said for years. They are saying no. And I pray that Nigeria will come to know very soon. Take a look and comment. God bless you all. Ciao.
Some people argue that I split your party down the middle, and people are saying it will rip your party apart. A prominent member of your party is going against your party now, Babasha Lawal, because of the Muslim ticket. What arguments do you guys have to make to support it?
I am also disappointed. I must say I'm disappointed in the person raising this question. You are jumping from one scenario to another, and I want to assure you that I am competent to respond appropriately to everything that you want the public, you want to misinform the public about. Now we are talking with regard to the Ogun State scenario. How does that translate to, issues of the so-called Muslim ticket? I don't know you and I don't know your name, but I want to say this. If you are talking of so-called Muslim ticket, it is some of you in the press, with all apologies, that are really making a mountain out of a molehill. The man Shetima was not, appointed as running mate because he's a Muslim. He was appointed or nominated because he comes from another region of this country. And it will be stupid of anybody who is an aspirant or who is a candidate not to do his calculation very well if he's going into an election. Tinubu is not contesting this election for the fun of it. He's an experienced person. He's a political mathematician of note. It is his duty, which he has discharged, appropriately, to ensure that he gets the best, mate, the best running mate who can give him, the best vote from the zone that he comes from. I don't think anybody will have an apology, particularly because we also know that Tinubu, who is a Muslim, just happens to be a Muslim. What is more important in this political process is that he's a Yoruba man from the southwest. So it's a Yoruba man from the southwest that is pairing with, somebody from Borno State, far distant, the other extreme of this country, And we also know that Tinubu has been one of the most charitable person, who is close to Christians and to Christianity in this country. For one, his wife is not just a Christian but a pastor of one of the largest churches in this country. Virtually all his children are also Christian. He has not made any attempt to Islamize any of them. So what is the basis of any agitation or of any fear by anybody? The truth is that those agitating about the so-called Muslim ticket are making all the noise because they have lost out. They had positioned themselves to get the ticket merely on the basis that they are Christians from the north.
Okay, Minister.
That cannot be a qualification for somebody, for a party, wanting to win election. I think and I believe that what Tinubu has done in appointing Shetima is a masterstroke which has disorganized the opposition.
Former Minister.
These people making the noise,
Former Minister.
they had an opportunity. Let me make this point. They had an opportunity during the primaries to support a southern Muslim so that they can be, they can, on the basis of that, argument of Muslim, Christian, or whatever. That is not the solution. Why would they, if they indeed love Christianity, why did they not support a Christian candidate during the primary? Why was it Tinubu a Muslim that they support, and suddenly they have renewed, they have suddenly discovered that they love Christianity, and so the running mate must be a Christian from the north. So we should get this right. Okay. Nigeria belongs to all of us, whether you are Muslim or Christian, and we all have a right to aspire.
Okay.
In any case, I must also add, Tinubu is not the only party candidate for this election. Instead of all the noise they are making, let them, pitch their tent with their newfound parties. Okay. Right now, what they are doing is,
Former Minister. Former Minister, with all due respect, my name is Rufai Oseni, and you cannot tell me the questions I will ask on this show. I have a right to ask you the questions as a journalist, and you answer.
You are
Please,
not forcing me to be part of this interview.
Hang on a minute,
Whatever your name is, you cannot force me to be interviewed. So if you have a right to ask any question, I to have a right to respond appropriately.
Minister,
so you cannot harass me, Mr. Rufai Oseni.
Minister, now you know my name. Thank you so much, and good to meet you once again. I'll ask you further. You talked about being disappointed for asking the question. But a lot of members of your party are disappointed because you keep touting that the reason for a Muslim running mate for Bola Tinubu is competence. Are you saying, Minister, there's no Christian that is competent from the north that can double up that ticket? Is that what you're saying?
Who has I'm
still talking, Minister. Let me finish.
Discretion.
Minister, let me finish.
Are you the one going to dictate to our candidate as to who he is going to appoint as his running mate. Nigeria is not a one-party state. Nigeria is a multi-party state. Tinubu is not the only presidential candidate. The choices are open to everybody.
All right, Minister, I wanted to ask a follow-up question.
There are so many states in this country, in Ondo, in Ekiti, in Edo, where Muslims constitute more than 30%, 35%. And they have Christian ticket, and nobody has made noise. The Muslims have not raised any issue. Why suddenly during the presidency, with regard to APC, I mean, people, are, raising fire?
Okay, Minister.
It's not justifiable.
Minister, my last follow-up will be, then why was that scene about bishops coming to endorse the running mates of, the political party and the ticket during that, what's it called, presentation?
It is the most appropriate response to those who want to, who want to create a scenario as if Christians, everybody must, support, whatever the wishes of some sections of Christians are. They were there, they were maligned, they were abused, they were not Christians, as if they needed to take a license from anybody to remain Christians or to remain bishops.
Right, I want to go back to the activities of the Reconciliation Committee and limited success recorded so far. You have problems all over the country. You have Kano, Kaduna, factions within the party. You have Rivers State. 50 people have left Rivers APC because of the friction between former Minister of Transport and Senator Magnus Abe, who, as a real APC stalwart, has had to seek his political fortunes in SDP. Exactly, can you take us through the process? Exactly what does a Reconciliation Committee do?
You see, we are all human beings. We are all human beings, and this is a political party. It is not a straight-jacket organization. Political parties are parties of free joiners and free leavers. You are talking of River State. I can assure you that the guy who left, Abe, does not have any other presidential candidate to support other than Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was forced to leave and go because he wanted to be governor. He has been aspiring for some time. And unfortunately, he didn't have the control of the party in Rivers State. So he has to go and look for the greener political pastures somewhere else. But if you interview him, and I want you to go and interview him, he will tell you that for the governorship, because he could not get the ticket for the gubernatorial election, he decided to go and look for a ticket somewhere else. But for the presidency, even in Osun, where we lost, people there on ground will tell you that for the governorship, they decided to vote for someone else. Not because that person in PDP, but because they have issues with our governor who is there. But that for the presidential election, they are going to vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So everybody is free to decide. So if 50 people you claimed left APC in Rivers State, you want to tell me how many members of APC are in Rivers State? Are they only 50? So wherever you have issues, even in Kano, there are interpersonal issues between the governor on the one hand and some others on the other hand. So they are free. Everybody is free. It's not as if you have a limited liability company where everybody must play to the rules. Politically, everybody has a right. You may be in party A today, tomorrow you may cross to another party. You have not offended. You have not committed any offense. So for us, and for me personally, I know that everybody who decides to go or not go is acting within his discretion and constitutional right. And in any case, members of a party are not straitjacketed. It's not as if you are in a school environment where you must go to class at 8 a.m., you must leave at 2 p.m., you must at a time attend one lecture or the other. No. Everybody is free. And you don't have any apology. So it's a free environment. And so I have not seen anything inhuman or unconstitutional in the act of anybody living. As the some are going, many more are coming in. You must get this also. But we choose not to make noise about it because we know that it is the election proper that will show class.
Right. The Magnus Abe has been consistent in his support for Asiwaju Tinubu. That wasn't my question. I was wanting you to give us a peek behind the veil. How do reconciliation committees work? Because even though you have that nuanced position that you described,
reconciliation committees are working very, very well.
Yeah, how is it working?
You see, in politics, whenever there's primary election, there will be people who will win. There will be some others who don't win. Some may have convinced themselves that they are the ones who are going to win. Even in main elections, general elections, it's only one person who will win. The other person who feels he ought not to have won would go to tribunal. And it is within his constitutional right to go to the tribunal. When the tribunal finally takes a decision, then we know who has won in actual fact. So in politics, these are normal things happening. People go out of a party, some others will come in, and life goes on. They are normal things. They are normal human political activities within parties. So for me, as an experienced politician, I have not seen anything extraordinary that is happening.
Okay, Minister, two quick scenarios again as regards your internal wranglings in your party that is tearing your party apart. I'll start from your Muslim ticket. No, Minister, please let me speak. You are gagging me, Minister. You are gagging me. Let me speak. I anchor the show.
Okay, you go ahead. Continue to speak. I have time for you.
Very good. So, number one, your Muslim ticket. A lot of governors, and there have been discordant tunes in the Northwest as regards the emergence of the running mate of your candidate. They are saying most of the votes come from the Northwest, and you pick somebody from the Northeast. What is the calculation? And secondly, still part of your internal wranglings, the internal wrangling between the Minister of Interior now, Mr. Regbeshola, and the governor of the state, Oyetola, led to your party losing an election woefully in Osun State. Osun State used to be a stronghold of your party, but you lost. So it has cost you some things. What do you say about those two things?
Number one, about the alleged, grouse of governors from the North West. The Yorubas have this adage. I'm happy you're a Yoruba man. The Yorubas will say, "Eni tí ò bá ní wọ yẹ̀wò, kò lè mọ ohun tá à ń ṣe ńbẹ̀." What operates within the party would never completely be known to you and to others. Look, it was the governors from the North generally whose support led to Asiwaju Tinubu's success at the primary. You think Tinubu will take an action without the concurrent support of these governors? You will never know. I am sure that so-called grouse by Northwest governors can only exist in the imaginations of people who do not wish our party well. Because I'm hearing what you are saying, I'm hearing it as a very strange and new issue. And I'm confident, I can tell you confidently, that the Northwest governors continue to give the fullest support to Asiwaju Tinubu.
Minister, is El Rufai with you? Is El Rufai with you? Can you boldly
yes.
say that Nasir El Rufai is with you guys? Can you say that?
Who's El Rufai? Has he said he's not with us?
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Time will tell. Time will tell. Time will tell. I don't have to stress to prove that El Rufai is with us.
Okay, but you lost the elections in Osun.
What is strange about losing election in Osun?
In your comments on that and internal wrangling, has it been sorted?
What is strange about? I've told you that, look, if you care to listen, I have told you and I want to remind you that people on the streets of Osun will tell you that they have grouses or they had grouses with the governor. And that for the presidency, they are going to, nobody can force them to vote for PDP, presidential candidate. So the fact that we lost an election, is it the first time that people will be losing the election? We won election in Ondo. We won in Ekiti. We won in several other places. The fact that, we are not aspiring to have a one-party state. This is a multi-party democracy. And we win some, we lose some. The ultimate is that we need majority votes in the country and 1/4 in 2/3 of states. And then we are good to go. And by the grace of God, we will surprise doubting Thomases.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are buoyed by your confidence this morning, but what do you know that another experienced politician... Can I finish,
you cannot
please?
guarantee. What percentage of people do you think would agree with my confidence? Are you in a position to tell us that it is only 40% who agree with me, or it is only 30%?
I didn't actually say 40% agreed with you. That's not what I said at all. I have no idea where you got that.
I am not posing that to you, that nobody can guarantee with exactitude how many people will agree with me, how many people will not be agree with me. Nigeria is made up of 200 million people.
I'm sorry, I don't understand why you're being combative right now, but if you let me finish my question, I'm sure you'll understand the big picture.
No, it is you people who are being combative.
I was not combative at all. I said a lot of people will be buoyed by your confidence today.
What is your interest?
And you go off on a tangent.
What is your interest?
You went off on a tangent. I didn't realize it was offensive to say a lot of people will be buoyed by your confidence.
I will remain confident.
Is it offensive to say a lot of people will be buoyed by his confidence?
Minister.
Why must I be discouraged by your pessimism?
What pessimism? No, I'm sorry.
You say I'm combative.
A lot of people will be buoyed by your confidence. How is that combative? How is that pessimistic? To say a lot of people will be buoyed by your confidence.
So what's your problem about my confidence? What is your problem about my being confident?
Did I express that I had a problem?
You are supposed to be balanced now.
Did I express a problem?
You are not supposed
Perhaps
to
a dictionary might be needed.
That we are desperate. We are not desperate.
Okay,
Who used the word desperation?
Minister, please calm it down. Minister, please calm it down.
I don't think he understands what it is to be bored.
We're just calm down.
I don't think he understands.
I'm not combative.
Minister, calm down. We're asking questions.
Being buoyed means
you will not overwhelm me. Be assured of that.
Being buoyed.
All right, Minister, we'll go for a quick break and we'll come back and talk to you.
I don't think he understands buoyed. Welcome back to the morning show here on the Rise News. Still with us is Adebayo Shitu, former Minister of Communications, of all things, and Director General of the Asiwaju Tinubu Shetima Coalition for Good Governance. Now, before the break, when you went off on me, I was trying to praise your confidence. Saying a lot of people will be buoyed by your confidence means a lot of people will be encouraged by your confidence. They will enjoy it. That is how I started the question. But the actual question I wanted to ask you is that what then do you say to the tone of caution that President Muhammadu Buhari has continued to strike with regards to APC managing its internal affairs so that it does not cost you in the 2023 elections?
Well, that is what a father should do. The fact that children are playing, when such play have potential of injury, the father will still say, oh, be careful, that kind of thing. So there's nothing extraordinary. Of course, he's not on the ballot, but all those on the ballot know that they should ensure that there's amity within the party. And as the grandfather of our, the APC, he also, reminds us of the need for caution and so on and so forth. And so that is a welcome development as far as I know. Let me therefore, at this juncture also say that even smaller parties do have misunderstanding. Some people prefer to call it crisis. In a situation of competition for positions and all of that, necessarily, it is part of human nature that people will disagree and so on. But at the end of the day, like I said, anybody who is not satisfied, there will be processes within the party to seek for reconciliation, to ensure that we all work towards. At least, like for instance, in my state or your state, during the PDP primary, guns were shot. I mean, they were using guns freely within the gubernatorial primary there. I mean, some decided to leave, some were begged and so on. They are also doing reconciliation here and there. And of course, we know also that in Rivers, in several other, states, even in Adamawa now, there's crisis, but I mean, they are manageable crises. Once, death doesn't result, once injury does not result, I mean, physical injury, you continue to manage, your association. For APC, as the largest political party, not only in Nigeria but in Africa, you cannot have graveyard silence. People who feel that once they get the ticket of the party they are most likely going to win, they will certainly, struggle, and more often than not, desperation will come in. But at the end of the day, the party will forge ahead, and by the grace of God, we are forging ahead as a political party. And I'm very happy, very confident that things are working out very, very well.
So it's all much ado about nothing. Thank you for your time.